Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tin Shed Shenanigans. Today, we're going to start part 2 of the champion pressure washer that has become just a champion motor because I don't think the pressure washer works. In this episode, we're going to be cleaning out the fuel tank and figuring out some wiring to at least have a start and stop button because I can find no wiring diagram for this system. So that's fun. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out what wires are required, which ones are not, and go from there. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to put my funnel. Here it is. Today's cleaner of choice is Super Clean. This was an old bottle that was laying around, and I've seen Pole Barn Garage use it a lot, and I thought there's about maybe a quarter of this left. I'm just going to dump the whole thing in there and let it soak in the bottom, and then probably put some water in it to fill up the rest of the way, and we'll let it just kind of sit and soak. And then while we're doing that, we'll mess with the wiring and see if we can find a start and stop button. So let's just... There you go, little buddy. That's now empty. We'll set that over there. And yeah, it's a nice good layer over the entire bottom. So yeah, then I'll get y'all set up somewhere and we'll play with some wiring some. Alright, so I got y'all kind of propped up somewhere. If you hear like creaking and everything in the background, it is super windy, and it has been super windy the past couple of days. We've been in a high wind advisory for the past, 2 days. Okay, so that's for that. Here's the ground. Trigger start. We just need a start button, which I don't have one. We're going to set this over the side. We may be able to just kind of make something work for the time being. And the way we may kill it, unless I can find a kill wire somewhere, the way we'll probably kill it is, I guess, disconnect maybe that. That may work. But this is the black wire. This is our, remote start. Or remote start. This is our start button. And maybe this black one is the kill. And I guess it takes away power from the coil. I don't know. We're going to kind of play around with that. But this goes to a ground. So maybe that takes ground away. I don't know. What worked last time is me disconnecting the fuel from it and just letting it kind of die out. Which, that may be what we do this time. But, if you remember, carburetor was kind of leaking. I think it's just sticking, but with how much I paid for this thing, and how much a new carburetor is, this thing will never be a pressure washer again. It's got too many issues. All the ports are stopped up. It's better off just being an engine. So it's $18, $19 for a carburetor. I still don't have an air intake, so this is just going to be a motor that if someone wants to buy for a go-kart or something, it'll have electric start and you can just set it up for your kids. So I think I've got some wire. Yeah, I've got a bunch of wiring I can use. I probably have some switches actually. I didn't think about that. But I'm gonna get the wiring, read me up a switch, and then we'll see if that works. And if it did, and if it does, then, you know, cool, we'll have a push button start or some kind of switch start. And yeah. All right, let me go dig around in my pile of stuff and see what I can find. Okay guys, so I went and dug around and I found an old drill switch that I'd actually gotten from some of my grandpa's stuff. And oddly enough, I twisted the two positives together that are on this lead. Get that hooked up. Let me go this way. So I got the two positives twisted together. Hook them to the positive battery. This little black wire coming off. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. We now have a push button start. It's a drill switch, but it's a push button start. Now I need to figure out a way to kill it after it's running. So I'll see if disconnecting this black and white wire does that. And then what I'll do is I'll just put a little toggle switch in between here, flip the switch when I want to kill it, and push it back when I want it to run. And we may just steal the switch off of this old switchboard that's on this thing. But yeah, I'll get that figured out and I'll be back. All right, so I figured out, you know, a kill switch and everything. If you notice, the carburetor leaks heavily. So I think I'm gonna call it right here. As far as, you know, trying to get this thing running and running on its own goes. I am going to finish cleaning out the tank though, so that'll be in this video. But as far as the running part of it goes, I think I'm going to call it before I catch everything on fire. So yeah, we're going to, because I don't feel like buying a new carburetor. It'd be different if this thing still worked as a pressure washer. It doesn't. It's just an engine. And I'm sure there's someone out there who's like, hey, I want to buy this for my kid's go-kart. It's almost a 400cc engine. And I'll be like, okay, cool. This is how much I've got into it. I at least want this. And they'll probably go, deal. But back on this. This is the start wire. And this black wire runs directly to the coil. And I figured out that this is a ground. So the way the coil works is it sends power to your spark plug, and there's a little magnet right here. Actually, it's perfect. There's a little magnet right here that as it spins past the coil, it creates energy and a spark. Well, if you want to counteract that, you put ground to it. This is the ground. In order to kill it, I just had to touch the wire going from this, you know, from my coil to this black and white grounded wire, and it killed it. This is my start. This is the kill it. You can't touch these two together. It does nothing because this is still straight at the starter. Same thing with this, right at the starter. You got to take the ground itself and touch it to this. But I figured out that. So we're going to see if we can get this tank cleaned out, and then we will probably list this thing after that. So yeah, because I don't feel like putting more money into this. I'd rather just get it out of the shop. And because I've got three or four lawnmowers up next that I've got to create room for. And there's another project right behind me that I think, you know, will be a pretty good one. A really good willet run. But, yeah, I'm going to get this tank washed out, see how clean it comes. And that way, if someone does want to use the tank for their, you know, go-kart or whatever, it's clean and can be used. But, oh, did it stop leaking? Oh, no, it just leaked all the fuel out. So, yeah, I'm going to get this thing outside and get it washed off. And, yeah, we'll see if that tank comes any cleaner. That is what is coming out of the fuel tank. So, that's not great. You don't want to see that. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, I think this fuel tank may be toast. But, we'll try and get all this crap out and see if it helps. Well, guys, I don't think that tank's coming any cleaner than what it did. I can hear, like, big chunks of metal sloshing around at the bottom. And I know part of it's probably that chain that's supposed to be on the fuel cap, but it's not. So, fuel tank's wasted. It needs a carburetor, but it runs. We did confirm it ran. So, yeah. Well, guys, thank you for watching. I know it's been a short video, but, you know, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, you know, things like that. I really appreciate it. We're up to 54 subscribers now, so I can start doing some live streams. I'll wait till a day where I can actually do it at a more reasonable time rather than like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And I'll do a couple, you know, short live streams or longer live streams. It all just depends on what kind of content we've got for the day. But yeah, you know, I really appreciate you guys. You know, y'all have been more than supportive so far. Thank you for everyone who's been here since the beginning, and all who are just now coming. Welcome. I hope to see y'all as we grow and get bigger, and you know, it'd be cool to, you know, eventually blow up one day. But you know, baby steps. We're up to 54, so you know, it's really exciting for me. Guys, I really appreciate it. And this has been another episode of Tin Shed Shenanigans.